All right, hello, it is silverkyle, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the epic collection of the Amazing Spider-Man Maximum Carnage Volume 25. And this right here is what I grew up with. I love this so much. The way that the artists drew in the 90s captivated me so much. Having Venom and Carnage and Spider-Man all together. Like, this came out in 1993. So I would have been 7 years old, and I had at least two of the issues of Maximum Carnage. I don't remember which ones it was. I think there was an Amazing Spider-Man there, but I don't remember what the other one was. I'll have to read through it and try to figure things out. But anyway, 7 years old, this is how you get kids into comics. The art from here is what I wish it still looked like today. I know that the 90s was 30 years ago now, but this is what I love. So, this retails for $39.99 in the US and $52 in Canada. I ended up getting it for $38 Canadian from Amazon.ca. And it collects the entire run of Maximum Carnage, which is Amazing Spider-Man 378 to 380, Web of Spider-Man 101 to 103, Spider-Man 35 to 37, Spectacular Spider-Man 201 to 203, Spider-Man Punisher Sabretooth designer jeans, and material from Spider-Man Unlimited 1 and 2. So, what's also awesome about this, not only is it just a fantastic story with the best possible art and the best possible characters in the Spider-Man universe, in my opinion, it is laid out in chronological order. So it doesn't just have all the Amazing Spider-Mans together. It actually goes through how you're supposed to read it. I love that. So obviously the writers here, the amount of people that worked on this, because there were so many different titles that were kind of being thrown out for this, the pencilers and the inkers and the colorists, they all worked so well together. It's not just the drawings, honestly. I think it is the colors that made things pop so well. So I love this. So it starts off with Spider-Man Unlimited, goes into Web of Spider-Man, then Amazing Spider-Man, then Spider-Man. So there's a lot here. Freaking awesome. Look at that. Look at that. It's glorious. I cannot wait to dive back into this. Doppelganger Spider-Man. Look at, like, God. The people that were working on Spider-Man in the 90s, they picked such good artists to work on this. I don't think there's any of them that I dislike. This is one of my favorite Spider-Mans. Like with the massive eyes, that's so awesome. But there's only some of the artists that can actually draw Spider-Man correctly with the big eyes. Sometimes it looks way too cartoony. But this is how I think of Spider-Man. This is so good. Man, why can't we go back to this? All of this is just so good. There's just so much going on in here, and there's just complete chaos and mayhem, as there would be with Carnage, right? That's the whole point of it. This is one of the issues that I had. I remember this. So that is an Amazing Spider-Man 379. Okay, so I had that. And look at that. Look at that cover. That is fantastic. God, this brings me back so much. As soon as I saw, I had this one. What did I see? I saw this. I think that's what reminded me of it. So I've had that one, and I remember the knife here too. I remember being like, I remember that Deathlok. He looked badass. I had no idea who he was. Because I was also watching the cartoons, right? And Deathlok wasn't in any of that. Like, Carnage was, and, well, 93, I don't know if... No, I don't... 94 is when the Spider-Man TV show came up that I was really watching a lot. That's still the best version of Spider-Man, is Spider-Man 1994, the animated TV show. The best Spider-Man that we ever had on screen, including the movies. I loved that stuff. Oh, God, it's so good. Man. And I like the ending stuff here. The Spider-Man Punisher and Sabretooth. Like, this is cool. It's snowing. Look at that. Oh, that brings me back. This, every time that I see Punisher from back then, I want the war journal. Like, I'd love to have the war journals. Because that's the Punisher that I grew up with. This is fantastic. I love this so much. it is tied to a lot of nostalgia, but I think that's, I don't know if nostalgia forms the kind of art that I like in comics, and that kind of sticks with me. I don't know if it's because I just love the look of things. Kind of cool though that this is a good time to put this out because of Absolute Carnage having just released last summer, which I not Maximum, Absolute did I say Absolute Carnage? That's what I meant. I might have said Maximum Carnage, but there's the original trade paperback one, which was also the source for the Super Nintendo video game. That's really cool right there. Ugh. Yeah. I remember buying an issue of Wizards once, and I had no idea that it was like a price guide because it has such amazing art on the front of Wizard, and then you start looking into it, and it's like there's no comics in here. And as a kid, that is so disappointing. Just fantastic. But yeah, Maximum Carnage, great time to put it out because Absolute Carnage happened last summer, and the trade paperbacks are just coming out for it. And this summer, 2020, we're actually getting the Absolute Carnage Omnibus. So tons of Carnage stuff, great stuff. Can't wait to check that out. I do have a pre-order for Absolute Carnage because I loved it. Well, I loved the main series and a few of the others. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we get into the Omnibus of that one. So thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in. Beardage!